Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a Velocity Ford Bronco. Up front is a 5.0 liter V8, and down below is a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this Ford Bronco for two reasons. First of all, I haven't driven an early Ford Bronco before. I've done a lot of other Ford Bronco lineages in the 80s and of course the modern ones, but I've never driven one of the older classics, and so I get to do that here today. But the second reason is the fact that this is a Velocity Ford Bronco. And so it has a lot of bells and whistles. Velocity is a shop down in Florida that upfits retro vehicles. So they offer a Blazer, Bronco, a Scout, as well as a few other chassis, but that's what we're sampling here today. And basically you can either bring them a car or they will find you a car and give it all the modern touches, like a modern engine and transmission, differentials, transfer case, all of that. And so you might be looking at a 1969 Ford Bronco here today, but I'm actually driving something newer, fresher, and more modern, and I'm excited to share it with you. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zachpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 5-liter Coyote Gen 4 V8. Well, that is the heart and soul of this Bronco. It's a modern drivetrain. This makes above 450 horsepower, and it is absolutely lovely. Starting this Bronco up was such an easy task. Normally with these older cars, especially because these were carbureted back in the day, you'd have to sit there and pump the gas and give it a couple tries and hope the battery's good. None of those worries are found here. I got in, I turned the key like it was a 2026 Bronco, and I was on my way. That is a huge benefit to the Velocity. Like I said, paired to it is a 10-speed automatic transmission, a brand new modern Ford transmission, shifting incredibly smoothly. You don't even notice it shift, which is a big win. It's comfortable, it's smooth, and it's really, really nice. Last but not least, it is four-wheel drive. Now, it does have a modern transfer case as well as updated axles, so you're not riding on 60 or 70-year-old axles. It's all new, and it feels really, really nice. How does it feel to drive this Ford Bronco upfitted by Velocity? Well, it drives nicer. It's still not a nice ride. I've never loved like Jeeps and Broncos and stuff. It's very much covered wagon-y, you know, it has harsh suspension, but it's an off-road beach sort of vehicle, and driving it here in Detroit, the roads are not super friendly for the ride. However, you get into one of these cars for that ride, for that off-road capability, and so I'm not hopping in and expecting it to ride like a new Lexus ES. It rides like an off-road car. So there's that. Give it a little bit of the beans here. More power than any 69 Ford Bronco should ever have, but it is honking sweet. That's a good ride right there. That is fun. Should we give it a little bit more? Let's give it a little bit more. Woo! Doggy! Yeah, that's good. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, off to the left of the steering column, we have all of our gauges. So, battery, fuel, RPM, oil, temperature, and speedometer. Now, these are original style gauges, but they've been updated with digital gauges, so you do have a trip odometer and things like that. And moving on to the door, we have a little venting window, which is pretty standard for vehicles of this vintage. However, it looks like we have a crank window. These are actually secretly power windows. So lift up on it to bring the window up, pull down on it to bring the window back down. I love the fact that they kept it original looking. However, it's obviously not original, and it has those nice power windows. Moving into the center, we have original looking knobs and dials. We have our lights and our wiper washer. As you'll see, it actually has a modern 4-wheel drive switch out of a newer Ford product, so really, really cool to see that stuff. As I mentioned, it is retrofitted with air conditioning, which is blowing nice and cold on this toasty Detroit day. We have our radio down below and our original looking climate vents. Again, Velocity didn't want to make this new, hip, and something other than what the Bronco was originally meant to be. They just wanted to offer something special. And so you see a lot of that in here. Moving into the center, we do have a center console, and it has cup holders, which pass the big friggin' bottle test. And because you can go to Velocity and buy this, I will give this a pass for the big friggin' bottle test, which is so exciting. We do have USB-C and USB-A found in the center console, which is really cool. And the center console itself, you can lock it and open it. Really, really useful functionality here in the Bronco. The seats are comfortable. All new seats here for the Velocity. They're very comfortable, look good, feel good, operate well. Everything I would want out of a seat. Now, we do have back seats here in the Bronco, so let's hop out and go do a back seat review. All right, time to try to get back here. It's not as... It's not super easy to get back here, but once we are back here, obviously we get to enjoy the roof off experience of the Bronco. We get a nice Velocity badge here. You get the same great stitching and fabric found back here. You do get some added roll bars and whatnot just for protection. Obviously 1969 standards were a little bit lower than what we have here today, but we have the nice sound system, and I can comfortably sit behind the seat in front of me while sitting back here. So really, really cool, great use of space, and you get that open air Bronco experience with modern reliability. So that is huge, huge, huge here for the Velocity Bronco. Let's hop into the very back. We'll take a really quick look at the trunk, and then we'll talk about the looks. There it is. That's it. Trunk. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and obviously this looks fantastic. I love it. I think it's wonderful. And you can pick your paint color, you can pick all your options, but the coolest thing about the exterior, in my opinion, we'll finish up our walk around. I do really like the look of the original Bronco. I think it just has this like really rugged, but also sporty and stylish appeal. That's why these have sort of gone into the zeitgeist of cool, awesome cars for many other reasons besides that, but of course, that's a big one. My favorite part about the exterior is that it actually has hidden powered running boards. So when you're driving or parked, you'll never ever notice it, never ever see it, but when you hop out, you do have that help to get in and out if you have trouble getting in and out, or a mother-in-law that you gotta drive around down to the beach. It's gonna make life so much easier, and so that is a really cool feature. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving Velocity's Ford Bronco? Well, obviously, this has been an overwhelmingly positive experience. It drives and operates like a more modern vehicle. You get in, you turn the key, and you go, and that's not the case for classic cars. If you wanted an original 1969 Bronco, even the nicest one on the planet, is gonna be finicky when it starts. It's going to leak oil. It's going to need a lot of work. This is a modern car that has somehow been mushed into a vintage body with vintage door handles, a vintage shifter, and an old school ragtop. That's what this car really is. Now, we have to tackle the elephant in the room, $260,000. That's not a small price tag, and I would never pass it off that it is. However, this is not a soccer mom car. This is not something that you need to get your kids to band practice or what have you. This is a specialty enthusiast vehicle. Imagine if you could go into a time machine and buy one of these brand new and bring it back with you. That's worth the cost of admission. Buying this, you actually save money by not having to purchase a flux capacitor, not having to purchase a Mr. Fusion, and you won't have the creepiness of your mother trying to hit on you. It saves you that sort of legwork. If someone grew up always wanting a first-gen Bronco, they just want that look, that style, that appeal, and they've been able to do well for themselves later in life, this is the perfect vehicle for them. It's not for everyone, and so it's priced pretty high, but there's a lot of work that goes into these vehicles, and I'm so happy that Velocity is doing that work. If you want an essentially brand new first-gen Bronco, you can go get one, and you can get one from Velocity. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Velocity for bringing me up here to Detroit to drive some of their products. They're really, really great. Please go check them out with the link down in the description below if you would like to browse their inventory or find the correct Restomod car for you. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.